Yeah, nah.
Yours truly, Brevin Thompson, is back to talk about Nope, the latest film directed by Jordan Peele after Get Out and Us, and stars Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer as siblings who own a ranch for Hollywood horses that do stunt work. But then they begin to notice some strange events, such as some object moving in and out of the clouds. So they're determined to find out what this thing is, get it on camera, and achieve the impossible. This has been one of my most anticipated films of the whole year. I think that Jordan Peele is honestly one of the best filmmakers working on horror films today after Get Out and Us. And after I saw the trailers, I was very intrigued to see what he would come up with for Nope. And after seeing the film, I do think that Nope is a good film, but not great, especially compared to Get Out and Us. There's a lot of things that I do like about the film, and there are some issues that I have with the film that really bugged me, and I'll get to that in a minute. As far as performances go, I do think that Daniel Kaluuya is pretty good in this film, just as he was in Get Out. And Keke Palmer, I do think, is probably the standout performance of the film. She is just so energetic and so determined to achieve her goals, and that's one of the few things that I like about her character in this film. Yeun is also in this film, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us would recognize him as Glenn on The Walking Dead. And what they've chosen to do with this character is really interesting. And the backstory that they give this character, without getting into spoilers, that was disturbing as hell. And what they revealed, without getting into too much spoilers, is that something happened to him during his childhood while he was acting on this episode for an old TV show. And what happens, well, if you see the film, then you know what I'm talking about. And he has this carnival that's kind of like, it's almost like memorabilia for that TV show. And even though what he experienced on that day while on this set for that TV show clearly traumatized him as a kid, the fact that he is like in a carnival with all this memorabilia surrounding that show, I thought was interesting. Michael Winshaw plays a cinematographer in this film who assists our main characters to just try to get this impossible shot of like whatever this thing is that's moving in the clouds. And I think that he was a pretty interesting character, and the lengths that he goes to get this impossible shot, even though he got like one earlier in like one scene and he tries to get another, I'm like, okay, that's some dedication, even though that's gonna probably end up killing your ass. Still, what they decided to do with the character, I'm just like, holy shit. And the way that Jordan Peele helms the movie, I think it's really good. I mean, I like how he builds up suspense in certain scenes. I mean, when you see like electricity going off because of like this entity or whatever it is. I don't want to get too much into spoilers about what this thing is, but how they build up suspense in certain scenes, it really works. And there's like there was like one jump scare in the film that's like gave me this holy shit reaction. But yeah, I mean, I swear to God, when this jump scare happened, I was like, oh, holy shit. So yeah, some of the jump scares, I mean, almost didn't work for me, but there was just one in particular that really got me. On the other hand, I also think that this film is just gorgeously shot. This has some of the best cinematography that I've seen in a recent horror film. And as far as negatives go, what they decide to do, the build-up of this thing works. Them setting up whatever the fuck this thing is that's moving in and out of the clouds. uh, there's like a few scenes in particular. I mean, that kind of like builds up to like what this thing is, how dangerous it is, and everything. But by the ending, oh, what this thing eventually like turns itself into, um, I was left so confused, and it kind of left me a bit disappointed. I wasn't upset, but I was like really let down because they built up to how scary this thing is, but by the end, I mean, if you see the film, I don't know if you'll have the same reaction as I did, but it just left me a bit disappointed. But despite that, I do think that Nope is a good film. It has great performances. It has Jordan Peele's excellent direction, great cinematography, great scares, great atmosphere, great sound mixing, and also a pretty good score in my opinion. But the ending kind of left a little bit to be desired, and I really wish that they have come up with something a little bit more terrifying, in my opinion. But other than that, I do think that Jordan Peele made a good horror film, but not as great as Get Out or Us. So I'm gonna give Nope a B plus. So what did y'all think of the film? Let me know in the comments below. And guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Looking forward to doing more videos really soon. And if you want my thoughts on old or new films, of course, you know where to find me.